Having a hard time getting all the reading practice in you need every week? Are you looking to explore past the bounds of manga into novels, magazines, and the like? Stay tuned, because this week is your week. We are talking about free online Japanese ebooks. Much like leg day for bodybuilders or pooped pants for teachers, there is an eventuality that all language learners unfortunately cannot avoid. There's no way to be fluent without reading. Even if your goal isn't to read the Shakespeares of Japanese, you still gotta be able to read. Your reading helps your speaking, and your speaking helps your reading. Unfortunately, it makes a cacophony of weird mental connections that make you fluent. As such, you will be needing to read a lot. And if you're anything like me, before I was making frequent trips or living in Japan, I had a hard time getting native material that wasn't just manga. So what is a language learner overseas to do? In this first part of a two-part series, second part coming out next week, we're going to explore the world of Japanese ebooks. Now, besides joining the manga club, link in the description down below, our first site is HongToll. Now, although this site does have a bunch of free and paid manga, there's a ton of free manga sites on the internet. If anyone has access to Pirate Bay, you guys can get a 1,000 different types of manga in the original language, no problem. The thing that I found interesting about this site was their magazine selection. Other than its iOS app, it isn't region locked. You can use the website anywhere in the world. Account setup is easy. I'll actually put a link in the description down below. And when you're inside, you'll be able to see a whole bunch of free and paid mangas, magazines, and light novels. As long as it has a browser option and doesn't require the reader for the iOS app, then you can read it for free. I dig manga and everything, but sometimes it's nice to shake it up, and magazines are really cool and interesting. The font types are fun. It still has pictures for context, but it's a bit more adult in its tone. I guess depending on what you read. If it's a Shonen Jump, it'll probably just be like reading a manga. Next up is Project Gutenberg. Now, don't let the name fool you. This is actually a site that is a collection of classic works from all over the world and all of their corresponding languages. I recommend this site to anyone that is looking to step outside of manga into things that are a little bit tougher. If you're looking to step outside your comfort zone and see, hey, can I read and get the information without the visual context? This is a fantastic site. Last I checked, I counted 48 classic works, both native Japanese writers and were translated into Japanese. It's all public domain, and there's a variety of ways you can consume whatever it is that you want to click on. I actually have the list here. You have HTML browser format, Kindle, Apple eBooks, online, and it also has the ability to download these offline. So you can take it on your flight with you or on a bus to work or whatever it is that you need to do where you're not actively on Wi-Fi. The only warning I have for this site, despite it looking archaic, is that a lot of the works that are in here, because they're public domain, are decades old, and the writing can kind of seem dated in Japanese. So if you're not used to reading older texts or speaking to older people in Japanese, it could be a little grinding, but it is still a fantastic resource. Now, last up on this list, because I think with these three sites you'll be able to never run out of books, is Aozora. It's like our first website, but it's a little less easy to navigate. There's no covers that you could see of books to see maybe one's more childish than the other. Pretty much the only way to find a book is to click on one of the kana characters that correspond to it. Much like alphabetical order, but you're really just getting all of the ahs, the oohs, the a's, the o's. Besides that, everything on the website is free and open for you to read, both online and I believe offline. But there isn't really a way to search for a specific book title other than just clicking on the corresponding kana and scrolling through the list. Luckily for us though, there's gotta be hundreds of books on here. I haven't exhausted it in the 2 years I've known about it. Now, these books range from fantasy to classical to things that make my butt pucker to things I would probably pass over. Since the level difficulty can be so vast, I really only recommend this site to people who are intermediate learners and above. But hey, if you're just looking to click on a random title and maybe finding your new favorite author, what a way to do it. Like ebook roulette. Now that's it for this week, you guys. I've actually left some links down in the description down below that you guys can click and start reading right away. I also left a link to one of the articles that originally taught me this like 2 years ago. If you guys like this video, be sure to like it down below. It helps me tremendously. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or compliments, please leave them in the comment box down below. I do read all of them. If this video has not satisfied your hunger for me, I also have a podcast I put out on the Wicked Miscreant podcast every Tuesday and Thursday, and I do a Saturday live stream that is super fun and you guys should not be missing. All right, that's it for this video. Love hard, love deep, and I will see you guys next week.